In an art class, he just went wild. He smeared grease paint all over himself.
What's his name?
Damon Lewis.
We're gonna need fire department rescue code 3. I think the best thing is to keep the rest of the students inside the buildings.
Damon Lewis! Hey, man, what are you doing up there? You gotta take it easy before you fall.
Fall?
Yeah.
I can't fall.
You sure?
Birds. See them? I can be like them. I can do anything.
Oh, Damon, you just think you can.
No. I can. I can.
Damon.
See? They believe me. They know I can fly.
I believe you, Damon.
No. You're a non-believer.
No, Damon.
I can fly. I can fly. Let me fly! I want to go so fast! No, let me go! Please, let me fly! Watch me! Look! I can fly! I have wings!
I can't reach him! Oh, hold on to me, hold on to me. I can't hold on.
Fly! I can fly over those buildings like a bird, a plane. I want to spread my wings and fly from here, away from you. I'm going, I'm flying. Up, away. I'm flying. Let me fly! No! Let me go! I can't get easy. Let me fly! There we go. Right there.
Look, why don't you guys head on in? I'll finish up. Okay?
I'd better notify his parents. There'll be a lot of meetings, but parents groups, news people. The school's gonna suffer.
Yeah, for a week or so maybe, but then it'll be back to normal.
Apathy. Is that what you're saying?
It's the truth, isn't it?
I am a high school principal, not a police officer. This drug thing is a community problem. The school can't be responsible for it.
School's part of the community, a very large focal point. Dealers thrive here. It would be very nice if your faculty could be cognizant of that fact.
Words come very cheap, don't they?
As cheap as a boy's life? Frankie, could I talk to you for a minute?
Sure was a terrible thing.
Yeah. Do you know him?
Yeah, sort of.
Look, would you do me a favor?
Sure, if I can.
Find out where he scored.
Wow, Mike. I mean, you know what kids think of a squealer.
Come on, Frankie. That's a case of misplaced loyalty, isn't it? Now, if that kid had been stuck with a knife. By the way, how's your mom?
Just great. Working every day. She talks about you and Mrs. Danko a lot. Says she hasn't seen much of you lately.
Yeah, well, you tell her she can chalk that up to the crazy schedule of a cop and a nurse. Tell her we said hello, huh?
Sure thing. Hey, Mike. I'll do my best to find out what I can for you.
Okay, Frankie.
Frankie, you didn't have anything to do with it, did you?
Are you kidding? Damon was making his own stuff. He just didn't know what he could handle.
And you do?
Bet I do, sugar. You can bet I do.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry about the other night. It's just, well...
That you don't know what's happening?
Come on, Frankie. I've never taken it before. I'm scared.
Scared of having a good time? That's too bad. I mean, we could have partied. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, well, maybe next time, huh?
When you get rid of the maybe, come back around.
She ready to turn on yet?
Yeah, it won't be long.
Hey, dudes, what's happening?
Life, as usual, man.
Yeah, Johnson. Unless you're Damon Lewis. Easy.
That new kid, Tucker. I saw him hanging out with Damon earlier. But he's still snooping around.
So? He's new. Way I hear it, he's looking to score.
Yeah, well, I'll decide if he does. But not until we get a better look at him.
You think he had something going with Damon?
I don't know. But that's why we give him room. Feel him out. Then I'll decide what we do about him.
Southlake High School is no better and it is no worse than any other school in this city. It happens to be in my precinct, and I intend to do everything in my power to put a stop to what is going on there. 4 overdoses in the past month. This one brings a total of 5. I'd say that's a little much, gentlemen.
The thing is, Lieutenant, the kids don't know what to think. They don't have a decent example anywhere. That's confusion.
Where is the confusion? These chemicals are lethal, and they are against the law. Where is the confusion?
Even our lawmakers are up in the air over drugs. Some of them are for the decriminalization of marijuana, and some of them are not. Every other day, we're faced with a new and conflicting drug study. Grass is harmful, grass is not harmful. Acid expands the consciousness, enhances creativity. Acid will drive you crazy.
I am aware that you three represent the liberal element in this precinct. But I trust you do not condone the use of drugs by kids that aren't old enough to know which end is up.
Lieutenant, I don't want to speak for Officers Danko or Owens, but I don't like tags put on me. And I trust you're being facetious because you know that we've been out on the street every single day breaking our tails trying to prevent situations like what went down at South Lake.
And you're out of line, Officer Webster.
Lieutenant, look, we're all a little edgy over what happened. Sure, we got our own personal opinions about the drug scene at South Lake and other high schools. It's just we're not convinced that everything possible is being done to fight the real causes. You put undercover cops like Andy Tucker on campus and you bust a lot of high school kids, and the real criminals, the pushers, are getting away untouched.
Lieutenant, have our last campus drug raids made any real dent in the usage of drugs on campus?
The captain thinks so, the commissioner thinks so, and we have statistics to prove it.
But how do you feel?
Owens, there is no doubt in my mind that after one of our raids, the word gets passed around among the students. Then it is considered hazardous to consume drugs on campus because of the additional and also the very real threat. Now they might get caught. I would have to consider that as a very definite gain.
Yeah, they're definite losses. The blue uniform continues to be the bad guy because of the resentment students feel over our invasion of their privacy. Raids instill distrust and damage all the rapport we're trying to build up.
Communication is the key, Lieutenant. We have to get beyond the wall the students throw up against cops. We have to be able to deal with them on a one-to-one basis. We should be protecting those kids, Lieutenant, not busting them.
Instead of expending manpower for undercover cops to bust a lot of teenagers, why aren't we out busting the doors of the pushers? They're the ones responsible for the death of kids like Damon Lewis.
Gentlemen, we intend to continue our undercover program until we have some negative results, and that has not happened yet. I have been conducting my own personal campaign to secure additional manpower so that I could conduct some operational raids against high echelon members of the drug scene. The captain has secured some appropriations so that we can start some drug prevention programs for high school seminars. Now, I would appreciate it if you three would get off my back and go out and do what you came out of the academy to do. Do we have any arguments on that point?
We never have had, sir. I think we all want the same end results.
All right. Acid, angel dust, PCP, whatever. There's a whole new supply of this stuff at South Lake High School. It's coming from somewhere, and Damon Lewis is dead as a result. I want to know where that boy scored.
I don't think he did.
How is that possible, Tucker?
He wasn't into the dope scene, Lieutenant. Now, I'm sure of that.
What makes you so sure?
I rapped with Damon a couple of hours before he went on that trip. He was smart, straight, didn't get near dope or even talk about it.
Are you saying he was killed?
Yeah, in my book, that's the answer.
What would have been the motive for that, Tucker?
Yesterday, somebody ripped off the school lab for 5 liters of lysergic acid. They used to use it in chemistry classes for alkaloid studies, catalyst purposes.
Yeah, well, it's also used for LSD. It's supposed to be a controlled substance.
The school had it in stock before the government classified it as a dangerous chemical. But some chemistry teacher with sawdust for brains put the acid in a storeroom instead of destroying it. Well, somebody discovered it stored and lifted it. Now, the rumble is Damon Lewis eyeballed whoever it was who pulled the heist.
All right, see what else you can come up with on the stolen acid. And don't turn your back on anybody if you can help it. We've confiscated 4 guns from that school in the past 2 weeks.
Sounds to me like you went out on a limb worrying about that Damon Lewis punk.
Yeah, well, I gave him a double hit. Thought I'd zonk his mind for a month or so. I didn't think he'd start playing Superman with me, though.
And I didn't think a smart guy like you would let himself be seen ripping off that acid.
Hey, it's handled. I'll have Mrs. Ross off my back tomorrow morning. Hey, what's that you got brewing there?
Hash oil. A thimbleful will go for $50. I've got to strain it a few times before we put it on the street.
Hash oil, PCP, acid, angel dust. Now we're gonna be rolling in dough.
If you don't blow it.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
It means that I've heard about this new kid, Tucker. He's been asking a lot of questions.
He's ahead, that's all.
That's so. Have you ever seen him drop anything? Or even take a hit?
Well, no, but...
Well, that's what I thought. The word on the street is the police might be putting undercover men on campus. And this kid Tucker's moving around awfully fast. I don't like it.
Well, then do something about it.
You do something about it.
They used to double a bag.
Yeah, I remember one of these used to cost a quarter.
Don't remind me.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this in.
Who says a police officer's never around when you need one?
You know,
How have you two been anyway? I haven't seen you for ages.
oh, now, Marge, don't start. I saw Frankie earlier and got that same lecture from him.
Oh, you saw Frankie?
Police trouble over at South Lake. Nothing to do with Frankie, though.
That's a relief.
Hey, that's no way for a mother to talk.
A working mother, yes. Between a typewriter all day and keeping up the apartment and fighting my way through our one-bag supermarket, I do worry a lot about Frankie. I just wish I had more time to spend with him, that's all.
Well, I'm sure Frankie knows that, Marge.
I may be old-fashioned in this contemporary world, but a boy does need a father. I just haven't been able to find the right guy, that's all.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Frankie. How you been?
Just fine, Mrs. Danko. Except, school has me buried.
This is good.
That's a cop for you.
Hey, look, I've got a roast in the oven. It's going to be charcoal again. Bye, Marge.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Good
Bye-bye,
to see you.
Frankie.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take it easy, man.
You're late.
Yeah, I know. I was down at the library finishing up some geometry. What'd they want?
Oh, nothing. They just helped me with some groceries.
Saw Mike at school today, he tell you?
Just in passing. What was it about?
Some weirdo kid in my class, Damon Lewis.
What about him?
Well, he got stoned on something and took a dive off the liberal arts building.
My God. Was he hurt badly?
He's dead.
That's horrible.
Yeah. He was an okay guy, too. It's really too bad. Oh, listen, Mom, I have to go back down to the library. Tim and I have to go over our history notes for tomorrow's exam.
What about dinner?
Well, it'll have to wait. Oh, don't forget, we have to see Mrs. Ross tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
I thought that was all over with.
I tried to tell her I didn't see anybody stealing those chemicals, but, she still wants to see you.
Frankie.
Don't worry about it. See you later, okay? Bye.
Oh, Frankie, what about your books?
Look, let's face it, Damon Lewis was shoved over the edge by drugs. We want to nail the pushers who are responsible. Now, can you help us?
Okay. Go ahead, draw your lines. Close this out. How many more of your friends are going to end up like Damon?
Just how available are drugs on campus?
If you want some, there's always a way to get it.
I'd be willing to bet there are 4 or 5 kids toking a joint in the head right now.
Look, I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Now, my own personal opinion might be that if grass were legal, I'd be up there with those kids toking a joint. But it's not. And my badge says I bust anybody who's into it. The same way I'd bust your old man for being stoned on alcohol. However, there's a big difference between toking a joint and sticking some needle in your arm. At least we're agreed on that, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. But what about your teachers? Do they say or do anything?
Some of them try, but most of them just don't bother. Too much of a hassle.
Why a hassle?
Parents get uptight. They call you guys, teachers have to go to court, all that.
Dope's all over the place, man. It's kind of like part of the scene. Can you dig it?
It's crazy going to class with some speed freak sitting right next to you. See what happens when they OD, like Damon. Scary.
What do you think the answer is then?
Busting students won't cut it.
It's exactly what we don't want to do. We want the pushers, the people that are behind it.
You think the drug scene is really dangerous?
A kid by the name of Damon Lewis is dead. Now, how dangerous do you think they can get?
Maybe he didn't know what he was doing.
Who does? And it's for sure that if you don't know, you shouldn't be getting into them. What are you doing here?
Frankie and I just had a session with Mrs. Ross. She heard Frankie may have seen someone steal some chemicals from a school lab.
Did he?
At first, he said no.
And?
I need help, Mike. Would you talk to him? I just can't seem to get through to him. I thought maybe a man.
Orange would be glad to talk to him, but I can't take the place of his dad.
I know. No one can. He's not a bad boy. I just think he's in trouble.
What way?
I caught him lying to me. He says he's going to the library and then he doesn't take his books. And now, today, he told Mrs. Ross that he knows who took those chemicals. But he says he'll be in deep trouble if he snitches. And then last night, after he came home, I saw him put some money in a drawer. This morning I looked. It was $120.
Did you ask him about it?
He blew up at me, said it was none of my business.
He does have a job at the market, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Well, then it's okay. Look, besides that, I'll talk to him this afternoon. Okay?
Isn't this what you call a setup? Always hassle. Thinks I'm turning sour and she feels responsible. What do the shrinks call it? The single parent syndrome?
Look, you can put any label you want on it, Frankie. She's concerned about you, that's all. All it is concern, you know?
Yeah, she found that money in my drawer, and all of a sudden the wheels start turning. I appreciate what you're doing, Mike. It's just that I'm not in any trouble, really. Just had a lot going on lately.
Like what?
Heavy classes, a couple of term papers, and 2 language finals. And I'm trying to put together a nice little surprise for my mother.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been logging up some overtime down at the market. Trying to get enough money together to buy her a car. She walks everywhere, and I don't really dig it. You know how the streets are. Well, don't tell her, okay? Promise.
Promise.
I gotta get back. Okay. Nice talking to you.
Take it slow.
What's happening with you dudes, man? I know stuff is going down all around me, but I can't make a connection.
What'd you say your name was?
Andrew Tucker, baby. And the friends call me Andy.
Yeah, well, Andy, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's so.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, you mind? I got somebody to meet.
Oh, yeah, well, hey, I can dig it. But you know, I thought the trip was to get to know everybody when you started a new school. Now, I'm trying. But some of you cats just ain't giving.
Okay, bet. Welcome to South Lake High, brother. Now get off my back. Hey, what's happened?
You want some company? I've been thinking about what you're saying, Frankie.
Yeah, so?
Well, some of my friends did the same thing you did, that I should try it. I keep thinking about Damon.
I told you he was stupid.
Would it really make a difference? I mean, between you and me?
Well, if I really dug a chick, I'd want her to know what was happening, if that's what you mean. What can I get you?
Hamburger and a cola.
$65.
Got yourself a bargain. Thanks a lot.
Oh, my God, no. Oh, my God. Riker?
The phone! Dr. Riker!
Epinephrine IV. Let's zap him. Set it to 4, please. Clear. No response. Let's do it again. Clear. A partially eaten hamburger was found in the cafeteria at the place where Andy had been sitting. This narrowed it down to 2 students who worked in the snack bar. We checked one of them out. The other is still outstanding, a Tim Barnes. We talked to his parents. They're no help at all. The boy is still missing.
Yeah, this Tim Barnes. I've seen him around our building a few times with Frankie. I mean, they're buddies, aren't they?
I don't know how really close they are.
Yeah, I've seen them together.
What are you saying?
Frankie and drugs?
Oh, come on, Terry. The kid's too hip to get into that scene.
Yeah, maybe, but, didn't you say that he's been flush with cash lately?
Yeah?
Look, Mike, might not be involved, but he might be able to give us a lead to Tim Barnes.
You're right. Well, Jill and I are having dinner with Marge tonight. I'll ask some questions.
Well, you better hurry it up, Danko. We got one boy that's dead already and a police officer in there fighting for his life.
Excuse me. It was a large dose of PCP. It's pretty rough.
Those are from me to you. Don't worry, it's a light hit.
Frankie, couldn't we be together?
No, you have to try it alone first. When you go to bed tonight, pop one and just lay there and let it happen. And then next time we'll get together.
What if something goes wrong?
It won't. When you see me tomorrow, you can tell me all about it, okay?
My husband was always there, right on top of everything. The Rock of Gibraltar. He was so right for me and Frankie.
Sounds like quite a man, Marge.
I just wish Frankie were more like him. Maybe he would be if his dad was still alive.
What time did you say Frankie was coming?
Most likely after the library closes.
That was 30 minutes ago.
Mike, you've been fishing with questions about Frankie all evening. What is this, the backdoor approach or what?
I'm sorry, Marge. There was another incident at school yesterday. An overdose.
Do you think Frankie had anything to do with it?
No, I don't, but his friend Tim Barnes most likely did.
Guilt by association?
Marge, Mike didn't mean that.
And just what did he mean?
Look, Marge, we need Tim. I was just hoping that Frankie could help us.
Frankie's not involved with drugs.
I don't know that. Look, all I know is that he and Tim are pals. Now, all I want to do is talk to him. That's all.
Cops were all over the place. They were talking like it wasn't an accident. That's why I ran. I saw him pick up the other guy that worked the snack bar with me.
Well, it was stupid of you in the first place to lay that stuff on Tucker in the middle of the cafeteria.
I got an idea, man. I guess I can thank my perfect father for it. My mother used to read me all his letters, you know? Tell me how clever he was. Tell me to be just like him. War games. He was always writing about diversion.
How's that help us? I can't hide out in that warehouse forever.
Look, man, you said they picked up the other guy at the snack bar and rapped to him.
Yeah, Jimmy Sanderson.
Jimmy's got a record, man. If they found speed on him...
How?
I'll plant it, make a call, and you're in the clear.
But I already ran, won't they?
But you've run before, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you had another fight with your old man, that's all. Come on, man. Go back to the warehouse, and I'll pick you up after Jimmy's nailed.
Yeah, sure.
You know, this could be a bad trip. He'll crack at a cop's first question.
Yeah, I know. I told you, diversion. You see, Tim's got to believe, man. Until he can't rap about it anymore.
Hello?
Mrs. Johnson, this is Cindy. Is Frankie there?
No, he must still be at the library.
Oh.
Is there anything wrong?
No, I just wanted to talk to him.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll tell him you called.
That's okay. I'll see him tomorrow. Mrs. Johnson, don't tell him I called, okay?
All right.
Bye.
I just wanted to see if you're okay. You've been closed up in here all night.
I'm just tired, Mom. I'm okay.
Are you sure you're all right, Cindy? Anything bothering you?
No, really, I'm fine, Mom.
Nothing you want to talk about?
No, thanks. I think I'll just turn in.
Good night, dear.
Scared of having a good time?
Damon Lewis is dead. Now, how dangerous do you think they can get?
No, you have to try it alone first.
If you don't know, you shouldn't be getting into them.
There's nothing like it, nothing like it, nothing like it.
Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous.
You didn't tell me this went with the job.
No, it wasn't supposed to. How you feeling?
It was a bad trip, man. These kids, they don't know what they're into.
What's important now is you get yourself back together.
How was Mickey? Who?
Tim Barnes do anything for you?
I knew he was into the scene, but nothing I could nail down.
How about Frankie Johnson? Know anything about him?
Yeah, I know Frankie. He's a punk. He's a real punk. Smart, still a punk. There's nothing I can prove. But I say he's our #1 candidate.
Tim. Hey, man, where are you? Frankie? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. How you holding out, partner?
Fine. Okay. I don't think I can handle it much longer, though.
Brought you some munchies.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm starving. I can't wait to split from here. You figure out how to put the plan on Jimmy yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna stash it in his gym locker.
Oh, good.
Hey, why don't you wash that donut down with some chocolate here? Good.
Hot.
Ludlow 7.
Ludlow 7, clear.
Ludlow 7, meet Ludlow 9 on tack 2.
Roger. This is Ludlow 7 to 9. Come in.
Hey, Mike, you better meet us at the hospital. We just found Tim Barnes. Looks like he OD'd or something. He's in bad shape.
You take the hospital. I'm headed to South Lake to find Frankie.
Officer Danko? I heard you were looking for Frankie.
Yeah, I am. Do you know where he is?
I'm not interested anymore. Here. Frankie gave them to me. I was going to take them last night.
What changed your mind?
some of the things you said about the dangers. And I like myself too much to take a chance on trying to deal with something I don't know anything about.
Well, Frankie wasn't in school today. He's pushing. It's verified.
It's all coming together. We rechecked the warehouse district. A kid matching Frankie's description was seen in a donut shop earlier this morning. He bought some donuts and a hot chocolate. Carried them in a bag like this. These we found in a warehouse near where we picked up Tim Barnes.
The drugs?
That's our guess. Lab tests will prove it.
Well, look, take these, have the lab run those through. I'll go check out Frankie's apartment. Let me know what they come up with.
Right.
Marge? Marge?
Dispatch Frankie is going to make us rich.
And free. Money to do with when and where I please.
Finally gonna cut your apron strings, are you?
Isn't that what I said in the beginning? She suffocates me, man. I'm not like him or what she remembers he was.
Who is it?
Frankie?
It's my mother. Get her out of here, man.
What do you want, baby?
My son, Frankie.
No one like that here.
Yes, he is. I saw him. Frankie. You're part of this?
Now listen, baby.
Don't touch me. Frankie, how?
Ma, you better leave right now.
What are you talking about? Go where? To the cops?
You should be quiet.
What do you mean I'll be quiet? Do you realize what you've done?
Yeah, and I can go to jail for it if you tell anything to the cops.
We'll work it out. We'll make it right. I can help.
Help what? Stuff the old man down my throat? Look, if you have any feelings for me, just get out of here and forget what you saw.
I can't do that.
You want to see me in jail?
I'm sorry. What you're doing isn't right. I can't hide this kind of thing.
You're not going anywhere, lady.
We are leaving. Now. We're leaving here. Frankie?
You shouldn't play with toys you can't handle.
Just let us out of here.
And ruin my little gold mine?
Hey, Doc. Look, man.
We have no choice. She'll burn us.
Tell him you won't, Ma.
Tell him!
Do you think he'll believe me?
You want it out, Frankie. This is one way.
Marjorie's husband's holster. The last time I saw this, I had a .44 in it. Look, does the name Doc Merton mean anything to you?
Professor at the university. Riker busted him last year for running a kitchen.
But he was convicted, wasn't he? He should still be in jail.
Yeah, well, the parole board saw it otherwise.
Some books, his pencils, and his gym clothes. It's not much to hold on to.
It's just nice to see you out. You know, keeping yourself locked up that way wasn't doing you any good.
Getting out doesn't help much. Somewhere, somehow, I did something wrong. Frankie's death has no meaning because I don't know what happened.
Don't blame yourself too much, Marge. All you can strive to do is your best.
But somehow, I failed him.
And we all failed him, because none of us could come up with the right answers. Frankie was killed by ignorance as well as drugs. And until we can get the message over to the kids, a lot more of them are going to get hurt.